And welcome to yet another edition of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Light Beer, Chris Clements, and this is Dark Money Man, Sean Mooney.
Sean Money.
Sean Money.
Sean Money. Sean Noble.
Sean Noble.
So introduce who we're going to be talking to.
So we are talking today with a very bright, innovative, entrepreneurial young man named Weston Smith, who actually started a company here at Grand Canyon University, part of the Canyon Venture ecosystem, called Lux Longboards, and it is a electric skateboard company that is maximizing its presence in the electric mobile community. And he basically started this company out of his dorm room and has grown it into a $500,000 enterprise, and it's probably expected to double that this year.
It's awesome. I think it was a very interesting discussion, and he's got some big plans for electric vehicle, expansion in the future.
He does. There's plenty of competition out there, especially locally, but for him to be maximizing his time here at Canyon Ventures and has maximized his presence here at the university, he's one of the great success stories here.
Cool.
So we're happy to have him on.
You'll love this one.
Yeah, so my name is Weston Smith, and then I am the CEO and founder of Lux Longboards.
So how did you have this vision that every student at Grand Canyon University needed an electric skateboard to get around campus?
It actually wasn't a vision until I got onto campus. I grew up on a dirt road in Flagstaff, Arizona. Never ridden a skateboard or a longboard in my life. I grew up honestly on a ranch, so far from electric mobility. And when I came to campus my freshman year, I immediately was faced with the issue of commuting on campus. It's growing, and it was a large campus even back then. And so what I decided to do was I purchased my first longboard, and it changed the way that I was getting around campus. Well, fast forward to sophomore year, I actually was on OfferUp after a long, hard summer of work, and I found an electric longboard for sale, a used electric longboard. And I was like, that kind of sounds nice. I don't have to kick anymore. And I bought it, and I came to campus, and it was just immediately, it transformed my college experience because I could get anywhere within like 5 minutes. But that's not why I started it, though, because as I was riding this around, it was really interesting to see the different college students, my friends, random people. They'd walk up, they go, "Is that an electric longboard?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool. Can I try it out?" And that's when my entrepreneurial instincts kicked in to solve their problem, which was commuting on campus.
That is a fascinating story. The fact that you'd never ridden a longboard and then bought one, and then so tell us about your experience of you decide, okay, I'm going to try to solve this problem for other people. What'd you do next?
Yeah, so I actually didn't even start off in electric longboard manufacturing. I started off by launching Lux Longboard Rentals LLC. So I had this vision: college students can't afford boards. That at that time, one of the most the cheapest boards was upwards of $1,500. And for a broke college student, that's really unattainable unless you got your parents' money. And so what I decided to do was launch a rental company so that the average college consumer could afford an electric longboard. So I did Lux Longboard Rentals. And the interesting part is it was awesome. The students loved it. They adopted it. But with that, as soon as I started the company, I started having a major issue. So all the boards that I was renting out, they started having a 90% battery failure rate. So, young entrepreneur, just launched this brand new idea and concept. I'd been in business for, a couple of months, and all these brand new electric longboards I just purchased to rent out to college students were failing. So that's what led me to launch electric longboard manufacturing. Because what I did is I started developing a solution and looking into, what's causing these issues. What are industry issues? And it turns out that the quality control and actually, a lot of the systems within these electric longboards, very cheaply manufactured, the technology isn't really gone through. And so I developed an ultra flexible battery pack that actually solved, the issue of the boards flexing and the batteries breaking. And once I did that, the company I was buying from the manufacturer, they were going downhill. And so I just decided maybe I should look into electric longboard manufacturing.
Wow. It just seems like the story sounds like it's replete with, I've got this problem. I'm going to do this to help. Oh, that's going to help other people. Oh, I've got this problem. So what was it that in your life, where did you get this entrepreneurial spirit and drive and did it surprise you, or is it something that you probably thought, I'm probably going to do something like this my whole life?
I come from 4 generations of small business owners from Flagstaff. So, entrepreneurism, business has kind of been in my family. My grandpa owns a tire company. My dad owns a heavy excavation company. My grandpa on the other side owns a heavy excavation company. And so it just, I've seen it, I've grown up with it, but it's different to come into a space like I'm at. It's not something that it could be like, it's a lot of those businesses that my parents and grandparents and great-grandparents built were based off of relationships. And now I'm in the direct-to-consumer space. So it's a different business model. But, from a young age, I had seen what they had done. And when I was young, my parents said, if you want money, you got to go out and work for it. We're not going to give it to you. And so I got my first job working for neighbors, sweeping his hay barns. So it started from then. And then when I got into sales, the first time I ever flipped anything, I was at a garage sale. And I bought a riding lawnmower for $5. Like, it looked okay. The tires were a little flat. Didn't run. The guy said to just quit working on them. Took it back home, about an hour's worth of work, got it working, and I sold it for $450. And I go,
that's insane ROI.
So are you teaching how to ride as well? Because I can imagine there's some people who love the idea of having an electric skateboard, but don't want to, ruin their hip or break a leg.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you deal with some of that? Have you encountered any of that?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny because there's a big stigma with people that longboards are dangerous, and then they say electric longboards. Well, I might as well have a death wish if I ride one of those. But
because the top speed is...
So the top speed on the one that we have right now is 23 miles per hour, and we're about to launch one that goes up to 30 miles per hour. And
serious speed.
Yeah. It'll get you down the road.
Well, and I'm speaking from experience here because I used to have an electric skateboard from altered electric skateboards. And although the board was super, super stiff and the battery the size of half this table, it went up to 20 miles an hour. And if you fly off that thing at 20 miles an hour, you're going to get hurt, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. So, that's one thing. And actually, with the technology that we have now, we've really accommodated the safety behind it. And they're way easier and safer to ride than normal longboards. You got your braking. Normal longboards, you don't got braking. So you go somewhere, you go down a hill, you're dying, You got brakes. And then one thing that we've done is we have adjustable modes. So you have 4 adjustable modes for acceleration. So the first mode is like really slow, It's a little bit faster than walking, but not much faster. And then, that 4th mode is your sports mode. But we also implemented adjustable braking. So that's a big thing because, a lot of times, think about with your car, if you slam your brakes, I don't care if you're seatbelted in, you're heading towards the windshield. And so, we took that same idea that, if we could add adjustable braking, then it would suit the consumer. So you can have soft brakes, you can have hard brakes. And, but as far as the educational part, that is something big that, we care about safety and we want any Lux Longboard riders to feel safe. And so what we've done is if we're on campuses such as like GCU, selling boards, we actually do demos / lessons at our booth. And so this is usually during the beginning of the school year. And then if you're someone online, what we end up doing is we actually have a whole entire segment on our website. We launched a little, I wouldn't say campaign, but a segment for people called the Lux How-Tos. And so it'll go through how to ride, the safety precautions, and everything about your Lux board. It'll kind of help you get in tune to the safety aspect of it.
That's great.
Yeah. What?
I wish I had that safety aspect of
no
it.
kidding.
I would have re-injured my hematoma.
Right. What? So, talk to us about. So, how long you been in business? What's growth look like? And your market seems to be basically unlimited. But what is your target, and how do you communicate with them? How do you market that?
Yeah. So as far as I launched Lux Longboards Rentals LLC. It's been the same company since. We've just shifted, and I launched it in 2017. So we've now been in business for a little over 3 years. I launched it out of a dorm room here at Grand Canyon University. So I graduated college in April of 2020, and so it was really neat to have that opportunity to, start this business in college and then graduate with a business to go to after you're done with school. And so with that, this last year we grew 168%.
Wow. And
we'll do, hopefully we're going to do quite a bit more this year too. So we're on track. And as far as the space, our mission is to bring fun, fast, and adventurous transportation to everyone. And so with that, we do electric longboards, and we're actually looking into diversifying our portfolio of electric vehicles into other spaces. And so I just recently teamed up with the veteran, the veteran global brand manager for GoPro on a venture that we're going to start to diversify those lines.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So what's your outlay for like this year? What's your sales outlay?
So for this year, as far as, are you talking number wise? Yeah. So this year we're hoping to do $500,000 in electric longboards, and then we're just pulling everything together for the next electric vehicle segment that we're pulling together. So that's, I'm not sure what that looks like yet because it's a fresh start.
Yeah. Do you have a long-term vision for being in this business for a long time, or do you hope to just capitalize it at some point and something else?
So our long-term vision really is, to create, as I was saying, fun, fast, and adventurous transportation for everyone. So we're moving it more towards the adventure side of personal mobility devices. And so with that, my goal isn't to, we'll stay in longboards. We'll always have that segment, but we're going to move out into other e-transportation opportunities. It's a really viable space right now. And it's growing, and it's growing fast.
Yeah.
And so we hope to be, on the forefront of cutting edge technology in this realm. And
I think definitely in the right space. I have a recent 100% convert to electric vehicles. So, and I just think that, I was reluctant to be supportive, in part because a lot of the stuff that was the alternative energy stuff was with the subsidies and the taxpayer subsidies, that kind of stuff. But as I look at, where this stuff is going, I think where you are is a great place to. You're very well positioned, no question. What's the typical? I mean, you obviously have a website. What's your typical sales? I mean, is it you're more likely to get sales, and you do drive more of your sales from having a booth at a campus, or is it online as well?
So it's actually primarily online. So we love the college campuses and getting on campuses. It's a harder model to break into just because a lot of universities are very judicious with how they let businesses onto campus. And so we've really leveraged the online side of sales. But one of the most unique ways that we do it is through social media influencers. And so, did you guys ever watch the video of the guy that went viral for drinking cranberry juice while lip syncing to Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
That's one example. We actually collaborated with him and created a special edition electric longboard line.
That's awesome.
And so
Alex is loving this conversation.
So that way, because I like the idea of, I don't just want to show people. I want people, having real life testaments of the product and what it can do for them. And, with Dogface 208, that's his username. Nathan Apodaca is his real name. It's great. He lives up in Idaho, and when he goes to LA and does all the stuff in LA, he grabs his board and uses it all over. And so that's just a small segment, and we're actually gearing up to launch an off-road electric longboard line, which Chris has one on pre-order. So
Nice.
I'm going to injure my other hip.
yeah,
That's right.
and we're gearing up. We're gonna collaborate with over 20 social media influencers with this. And a lot of them will have large followings of over a couple million followers or more. So
That is fantastic. Well, we're going to have to keep in regular contact to watch your progress.
Is there going to be a point where you're going to be, what's the question I'm trying to ask, customizing the boards in terms of graphics and things of that nature? Are you getting into that?
yeah, so we are looking more into we are adding accessories as far as grip tapes and stuff like that. We do have an option to create custom grip tapes. But as right now we're full-fledged trying to launch this off-road electric longboard. So with that, I'm working on all the accessories you can put on. So the off-road electric longboard is going to comes stock with pneumatic tires. So you have your air tires. You can get airless tires. You can get street tires with it. You can get bindings with it. You can get lights with it. And so we're kind of bringing that out so that when you get your board, you can outfit it to the exact way you want to for the use case. If you're riding on street, you probably just want the street wheels. If you want to go off-roading, you get those big old 8-inch off-road tires.
And strap in.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's great. Well, congratulations on your success here. It's really one of the. There's a lot of bright spots here at Kingdom Ventures, but one of the great student success stories I know is Lux Longboards.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll stay in touch to watch your growth. Encourage people to go to your website. And order.
Yeah.
Order a longboard.
You look at us. Yeah, we're www.luxlongboards.com. You can see our social medias at Lux Longboards on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and stay in touch with what we're doing.
So, great.
Thank you, Weston. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
God bless.
Thank you.